Hi guys, welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast, the official podcast of PlayStation UK. You're listening to episode 2 of season 1, where we'll be chatting about video game difficulty, house move nightmares, and telepathy. My fellow brainwave babes will already know that though. Over this season, you can expect an introduction and deeper look at all things Access. So settle in for some cozy conversation from our world of PlayStation. Now it's about time for some difficult conversations. Literally. Hello everybody and welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast. I am your host, Easy Mode Ash, joined by Invincible Rosie. I was going to say medium, but it's just, you're invincible.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Hello, everybody.
And also Dave.
Oh, good. Don't even get a mode. Also ran. That's what I get. Like, he was there as well. Well done.
Well, you were. You are.
I am, thank you. Which is more than I can say for Rob.
Yeah, he is not here this week, so if you're missing a severe lack of woo, a severe lack of woo,
yeah,
it's because Rob is not here. He's on holiday.
We could pretend he's here.
We
Hello.
could.
Rob? You're here? Rob, I thought you were on holiday.
I'm not.
I feel like this is a soundboard we could be playing.
That's all I've got. That's it. I don't know if anyone else wants to.
Absolutely pathetic.
Absolutely pathetic.
Well, there you go. Rob is here in spirit,
yes,
which is probably pretty good because we're talking about video game difficulty and he is the absolute backer of easy mode talking.
Absolutely, yeah.
He loves an easy mode. But we'll get onto that later. We will get onto that later. That's going to be our main feature for this podcast. Right now, I'm introducing you. We're in the introduction.
Yeah.
So coming up today, as well as our main feature on video game difficulty, we've also got What's New, which is our news section on updates in the world of PlayStation, as well as comments of the week coming later for some community engagement. And then before we go, we're going to talk about some stuff outside of gaming. So welcome to the podcast. We're very happy to be in your ears. And yeah, let's get on to What's New. So guys, what is new?
That's a good question.
I didn't write this section.
I really hoped you had, because I only know about me.
Well, what's new about you then, Dave?
Oh, God.
He doesn't know.
No, this was not a planned joke because I have actually written a What's New section. And it is the BAFTA Games Awards for 2022.
Good point. Yes,
which were hosted by Elle.
Yeah,
yes,
I know. Amazing.
She smashed it.
Yes.
I didn't get invited, but it's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Why change the habit of a lifetime? I thought maybe next year, maybe I'll drop Elle a line. Just be like...
Besties.
Any tickets?
Are you going to get like a little bow tie for it as well? Do you
Absolutely.
have like would you get a coloured bow tie or?
I don't know. Oh, are you allowed those? I feel like
know.
you've got to be a certain kind of person to pull off a bright bow tie at the BAFTAs. You know.
But you could be that kind of guy.
I don't think I can. What about if I wore some crazy glasses?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I think a dealy bopper.
What's a dealy bopper?
Dealy bopper's like a headband.
Like with the...
Yeah, like on hen
I'm
do's, you see
doing
them.
wiggly hands over my head.
With the spring.
Yeah, like on springs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like,
Dave, definitely pull them off at the BAFTA.
What would they be? What would be on the end?
BAFTA awards.
PlayStation.
Oh wow, okay. BAFTA
Controllers.
Two different takes here. Okay, well I've got a year to think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the BAFTAs just happened.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was a big night for PlayStation.
It really was.
Yeah.
So I've made a little collection of big games that won multiple awards that did really clean up the place. And obviously the main one is Returnal. If you've seen the BAFTAs, you'll know the main one is Returnal.
Yes.
If you haven't, I'm going to break it down right now.
Yeah.
So Returnal won Best Game, which is...
100%.
Yeah.
For me, absolutely deserved.
Yeah.
I thought it was an incredible game, and it continues to be an incredible game. With the latest update that we streamed a couple of weeks ago, that game's just so good. Have you finished it yet, Rosie?
No, so I got up
Invincible Rosie, Ash.
No,
Invincible Rosie.
When it came out, there was something else.
Do you know what I'm hearing,
time.
Rosie?
Not
no,
Invincible.
I played it recently, but I only played it on a Wednesday with my friend. And playing Returnal once a week, like, you know, when you come back to it, the mojo wasn't there. But I'm on the second boss, and after I've done Elden Ring, I'm jumping straight back into it.
Are you going to commit?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it'll take you long. You just need a committed period of time.
Yeah, just the committed period of time. So I say that, like, I'm always like, oh, after Elden Ring, I need to finish this and this and this. Yeah. But I definitely want to dedicate the time to Returnal, because what I have played, it's a phenomenal game. Well, it's so blooming good.
The BAFTA winning best game.
Yeah.
But what else did it win, Ash?
It also won audio achievement and
good.
Music.
Yeah.
So got a double whammy for the music, which, I think is totally deserved. If you go to Atomos with Celine, like, you feel fully immersed in that environment. We played it recently, me and you, Dave, doing a stream for the co-op mode.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was a whole new way of playing it as well.
Yeah,
it was amazing. And the music, you forget how good the music is till you're back in there. Even just the little noises of scanning things and picking stuff up and looking at ciphers, like bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It's honestly, like, Housemarque had no right to make that game so good. Like, they've done great games in the past, as we've talked about many times, but it just feels like such a massive running jump ahead to this, like, new realm that they hadn't really explored before, and it's so accomplished to win several BAFTAs. It's just fantastic. They won on a brand new console.
They won 4. So they got one more, which was Jane Perry's BAFTA for performer in a leading role as Celine.
Totally agree.
Again, very deserved. I think someone said the other day, it's like, oh, Celine doesn't talk much in Returnal, but, like, I feel like it's so ingrained into the story.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so natural.
Yeah. But like, it's her flashbacks and her talking about, again, like, her story.
It's only her, isn't it? There's no other dialogue spoken other than her. She's speaking to herself and to you, the player, and like, she leads you on that performance. Is the kind of holds the whole story together. The whole narrative of the game is held by, like, her performance, which is just incredible. Like, I really, to begin with, the main draw of the game for me was, like, what's going on. Before I fell in love with the mechanics of the game, I was just like, what's going on? I've got to know. And that really all, like, just is from Celine's dialogue, which is just so well acted.
Yeah, 100%. Like, even just, like, the small things she says when she finds a scout log, or, like, listening to her voice in the scout log.
Yes.
There's this really careful, nuanced sense of, like, melancholy and emotional trauma, and, like, as well as this whole exploration, like, interest in what the environment is. It's so reflective and careful. It's beautiful.
There's that sort of, like, studied kind of suppressed anxiousness of, like, someone who's like an astronaut who's, like, the top of their game, but also is in this situation they don't fully understand, and they're trying to be scientific about it, but also there is, like, an underlying bubbling of emotions of, like, I'm a bit scared.
She
so
is
good.
just a force.
I like to think that was the brief when she got into the booth. Okay, so we're going for, like, scientific, studious, but with a bubbling of emotion. Yeah.
Well, she nailed it.
Good luck with that.
She got the bubbling right on.
Yeah. So what we're saying is we agree with the BAFTAs on this one. Well done, BAFTA. You got this right.
And well done, Returnal.
Yes, and
well done, good on you, Returnal.
Yes,
well done.
absolutely.
We love Returnal.
We really do.
That, like, genuinely, like, that's not even, like, a biased PlayStation. And, like, just Returnal's amazing. Like, it's sick. Also getting some wins at the BAFTAs was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Wonderful.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, that's how they say it. That's how they introduced it, actually, Rosie.
Is it?
Yeah.
And Dr. Nefarious. Did he come on the stage? And he went, Ratchet and Clank.
He did. He was right there. He pushed Dale out the way and was like, right, let's go.
Ghost Dimensionator popped out of that.
They won animation and technical achievement. Like I said, like Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. They did have some help, I think, but, they did it.
Animation and technical achievement, which I feel, again, go hand in hand because it's a beautiful game.
Yeah, I really agree. Like, one of the standout moments of last year on PS5 is probably that first moment where Ratchet and Clank are receiving their kind of, like, awards day ceremony, and suddenly you're in control, and there's just, like, of this amazing, like, carnival with all the, like, particle effects and all the people in the crowd, and it's just colourful and noisy, and you're just hitting those cannons and making those explosions. Like, that's just that's the start of the game, and it really sets the tone for, like, you're going to see some amazing stuff in this. Yeah. Welcome to PS5. It's really good.
It's a stunning game.
Yeah.
I think use the photo mode as well, when you can use the photo mode and zoom in. The fur. I know I've said the fur a lot. The fur.
It needs to be said.
The fur. Even their leathery little noses.
The attention to the leathery nose.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that's what a Lombax has. because I just realised midway through that they're not real creatures.
Wait, Lombaxes aren't real?
I'm sorry, Rosie. I didn't want you to find out like this.
But I was
really
going to get a pet Lombax.
You weren't. That was
going
to be a fox.
And a Dr. Nefarious.
Okay. Oh, God.
I was going to get them all as a pet.
I'd love to see a really sad fox just dressed up as a Lombax kidnapped by Rosie.
No, if
God.
it was sad, then I'd let it free.
No, I'd paint the smile.
Yeah, that's right. Always happy here.
No, I'd want it to be as happy as possible.
Well, I'd tell you what, on the subject of being happy as possible, The Journey of It Takes Two also got a BAFTA, or two, because it takes two.
Oh, nice.
It won for multiplayer and for original property, and it's just another one. And all of them are amazing, obviously, because they're their winning games BAFTAs. But It Takes Two, I think, won the Game Awards Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And is just it's one of those ones that I feel like you underestimate until you're playing it, and every single moment in it is like, oh my god, I can't believe this is this good. Oh my god, I can't believe they've thought about all the duality of two players working together in this way. It's amazing. I know, Rosie, you've played loads of it, haven't you?
I platinumed It Takes Two, and I played it was just such a wonderful time. I played it with my friend, and just what that game does. It's so the story it tells, but the thing that mainly got me was just how interactive it is as a multiplayer game. Like, honestly, you can do everything together. You can compete with each other. You can do things individually. You work together, and it's just, and the worlds it takes you on. Like, one moment you're in a garden, the next moment you're in like an attic space, and suddenly in like a, in a creative way, it's like you're in a kind of like colourful club neon light aesthetic, but you're still technically in the attic. It's like a magical sort of like thing you go on. But it was, again, so visually stunning, and then you're in space, and just what that game does. It takes you on such...
Not all of us have finished It Takes Two yet, okay? I'm still in a tree over here.
I'm sorry, yes. But no, just the variety of locations. What a wonderful game, basically. That's just what I want to say.
I can't believe no one's mentioned the Book of Love as well, whatever his name is.
The Book of Love. The Book of Love. Collaboration.
I love that guy.
I love him.
He's amazing. His little weird dances and stuff. What is going on? I totally agree, Rosie. Basically, just that game's great, and I think it is just they just were constantly thinking this is a two-player co-op game. Everything about it was like structured around that in a way that even some other co-op games aren't. They just seem to really understand what players want from a co-op game, like how you want to play together, how you want to play separately, the stupid little fun things you do when you're playing with somebody, like the stupid little games you make up yourselves, and you were right, the imagination of it. I've only got as far as the tree, but
there's so much more.
I had no idea. Like, I really thought, like, I'm probably getting near the end of this.
No, it just keeps going and
keeps
going.
Keeps on giving. It's a gift that keeps giving. Yeah, definitely.
I need to finish it.
I know we spoke about like the caterpillar spa last week, but I just want to shout at the caterpillar spa again because it was so good. It's so cute. Like, I played it with my partner, and he was sending me the pictures of we took loads. We just stopped and took loads of screenshots of all the caterpillars because we were like, it's so cute. It's so cute. Of both of us relaxing and having the caterpillar like paws, hands, nubs,
feet.
Little wiggly bits, just like giving you a back massage. I just love the caterpillar spa. Anyway, moving on.
I haven't got there yet. Something to look forward to. Space and caterpillar spa.
And the BAFTA for the best spa in a video game.
Goes to. Little audition there, Rosie. I see. Like it. Elle, if you're listening.
I should also mention another game that got 2 BAFTAs, which were narrative, and the EE Game of the Year, which is a public vote, was Unpacking. Now, this isn't on PlayStation yet. It's coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 this spring.
Yes.
I'm incredibly excited to get my horrible little caterpillar paws on this because it looks it looks very gorgeous and zen. It's all about the story. It's about unpacking your life into various rooms and uncovering the narrative behind it. It just looks very interesting. And obviously it's award-winning.
It's such a fascinating idea. I think, I'm sure almost everybody has moved at some point, whether that's moved to like, uni, to like a room at uni, or moved house or whatever. And there is something weirdly introspective about packing and then unpacking, and it feels like, I don't know, I think I don't know much about this game. A lot of it, I've heard the name a lot. It's kind of filtered into my sphere a bit, and I've heard a lot of people enjoying it, so I'm super excited that it's coming to PlayStation to find out. I'm kind of like, I know enough about it that I almost don't want to know anymore now. I'm like, I just know I'm going to play it, and that's good enough for me. It's like, I don't want to know too much, but I do think that just the subject matter is something really relatable, and I'm excited to see how that works into a game.
Do you guys have any unpacking stories? Have you had any nightmares when you've moved? It can also just be no.
I don't think so. I just moving is a nightmare, but I can't think of anything specific. Oh, I did have a fish tank.
Yeah.
And
is this the horrible story?
It's not a horrible story.
I've heard it from Nath. I've heard the story.
Wait,
from
what's
Nath.
this?
Come on.
You literally made a Resident Evil monster.
I didn't make a Resident Evil monster. It was fine.
What
I just had a fish tank.
No, you didn't. Something happened,
Ash.
Ash, what did Nath tell you?
Nath told me a horrifying story. I don't think it's appropriate for the podcast. You
Look,
just a monster
Nath
to
will just
fish
tell
kind.
you, and this is true, that I accidentally got boy and girl fish, and they had lots of baby fish, and it became a little bit overpopulated.
Pressed up against
They were
the
not
glass.
pressed. That is not accurate. They're fine. Well, they're not now. They have since passed away because fish don't live that long.
Not in your
in those
tank.
conditions. No, that's not what happened. But my story is that when I moved house, I didn't have a place for the fish tank anymore, so I convinced my mum and dad to take the fish tank. So you have to take the fish out of the tank and put them in something safe to transport them, and take the tank separately. And when my dad got home, he dropped the fish tank and it smashed, and he had all the fish in like this tub, and he had to quickly go and buy another fish tank to put them in. It's not a great story, but it was like, it's that panic of like, they've been out of the tank for a while anyway. Like,
I would love to see the thriller film of a bunch of fish in a bag running out of oxygen, like the 60-minute timer.
my dad's just like, pets at home.
Yeah.
I gotta get a tank now. He'll pay anything. I don't care.
Give me a tank. Like him driving down the motorway on the wrong way going,
Yeah.
I gotta
goes
get
around a
this
corner
tank to
too
the
fast.
fish.
It slides out and the new tank smashes.
Oh, God. It's a story
Have
in
you
itself.
guys got any moving stories?
I once...
Any moving stories?
Oh,
No moving stories. Just stories about moving.
I am moving to Bath, so I moved from Newcastle to Wolves to Bath when I came for PlayStation Access, and I had to leave my stuff in storage whilst it was in Wolves.
Yeah.
So it was there for about 6 months whilst I was looking for a Bath flat. So when I came and unpacked everything, it had been away for a good long while. Everything was fine. It was a bit musty because it had been in a storage facility. But I got it all out, got it all unpacked. And the last place I did was the kitchen. And there was one box which was full of all of my utensils. And there was a wooden spoon in there as well. And as I picked up the wooden spoon, it like disintegrated a bit.
Oh my God.
And I was like, hang on. And... I'd wrapped everything up with kitchen paper. So I picked up this spoon
I'm
and
terrified about
and it
this.
disintegrated a bit. The paper moved and there was all these weird, like, just disgusting things in there. Not like bugs, but like, I don't know what they were. It's like little black bits. And I was like, what on earth is this? So I thought, I'll Google it and see what it is. And Google straight away was like spider eggs. They're massive spider eggs.
No.
And I dropped the box and just started having a panic attack, like fully, because I was like, I've put everything away. There's eggs on everything. Oh my God, there's eggs in my food. I'm full of spiders.
God.
So I was ringing my mom like, oh, please, I don't know what to do. I'm in Spiderville.
That's terrifying.
And she was like, just calm down. It's not spider eggs. And then I looked it up some more, and I just clicked on the first Google result. And
As you do.
Yeah, and looked at a picture of spider eggs. Like, oh my God, no, it's not that. I actually don't know what it was. I think it was like something had obviously gotten it. Like I ended up having to get rid of the box because I was like, I don't know what this is. It's mucky and it's all my eating utensils. So I got rid of them all and replaced them. But like the panic of thinking I had a house full of spiders for a second.
That's made me feel quite weird, actually.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel it in my chest.
Yeah, it's a gross. It's not pleasant. It's not a funny turn at the end. It's just unpleasant.
And I never did find out what that was.
I didn't.
But I burnt it.
I did. But I live with so many spiders in my house. It's awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, the BAFTAs.
Yeah.
The 8-legged run of the BAFTAs. There were some other titles that won some games that deserve a lovely shout out as well. So for artistic achievement, there was The Artful Escape. The debut game was Toem. Evolving game, No Man's Sky. Family was Chicory, A Colourful Tale. Performer in a supporting role was Kimberly Brooks as Hollis Forsyth in Psychonauts 2.
Wow, it's quite a mouthful. Well done to No Man's Sky. To be getting a BAFTA now, evolving game, what a story that has had.
Yeah,
and
it's evolved.
It really has.
Well done to all of them.
No, Rosie. No, very specific.
No. I didn't mean it like that.
Lovely Rosie over there.
So I did have another brief news story on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I'm just going to whip out and then move on to the main feature because we're getting on.
You could say it's got to go fast.
It's got to go fast, Rosie.
There it is.
Sonic!
It's got to go fast. Because it's basically Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has had the biggest opening weekend for a video game adaptation movie ever. It's
Go Sonic 2! Go Sonic 2!
That is amazing.
I love that
What do we
film.
think this means?
I don't know.
Do you think people are I don't know. I don't know what it means.
$71 million across 3 days.
That's incredible.
So it's kind of got, you had the first Sonic the Hedgehog film, and 2, so you've got the audience who maybe didn't grow up with the games, but as a family film, it's still really good. But then Sonic 2 was kind of, you had new characters coming in. It was kind of linking a bit more to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as in the video game. So I think you just had multiple audiences coming in, different angles. And from what I've seen anyway, and from personally, I just thought it all blended wonderfully and just had a really, really good film.
Are you telling me you've seen it?
Yeah, I saw it day one.
Of course.
We saw it.
Did you see it 71 million times?
For $1 a pop.
We saw it on the day of its release, and we went to the last viewing because it was a Friday night, and we were like, oh, let's go to the late viewing, Friday night late viewing. And
Rebels.
It was great. It was just myself, my partner, and then there was a mum and dad and a kid all the way at the back of the cinema, and we were in the middle. So we had a brilliant time. We were there when you go in a cinema and it's empty for half an hour.
Yeah.
We were my partner was trying to do a spin dash on the floor because
my God.
we were just getting pumped for Sonic. So he was just
for Sonic.
pumped for Sonic. Yeah. So he did I said to him, I was like, well, I was on the chair and I did the Sonic finger wag.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's quite
that
one
feels
of the
more
poses Sonic
cinema
does.
appropriate than a spin dash. I'll
And
be
then
honest.
from the chair, he was making his way up, and I went, no, you've got to do a pose. And I think he just went, "Ugh," and he just thought of a spin dash and then just rolled on the floor.
Okay.
But then
He would have been covered in popcorn and all kinds of.
no, it was clean.
detritus.
The cinema was all cleaned and everything beforehand.
Ooh, I hope
Sure,
so. Imagine
sure.
what's on a cinema floor
Yeah.
for Sonic the
that's-
Hedgehog 2
let's
as
not.
well.
Let's not interrogate that too closely.
By the way, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, great film. If you haven't seen it,
I haven't.
then I highly recommend.
Okay.
Great time.
My closing anecdote for that is Idris Elba wanted to play Knuckles with a squeaky voice, but was told not to.
Oh no! I'd love to hear that voice.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, there's got to be a deleted scene or something of it.
it's gone. He just re-riffed it, and they were like, no.
Oh man!
No,
This is Idris
no.
Elba as well. I
Yeah.
feel like he carries some sway. If he's like, I think it should sound like this, I'd be like, yeah.
He just thought it'd be a big popper to be like, Knuckles is like, hee.
Can't imagine him doing a squeaky voice. Love it.
Right, now, guys, it's time to move on. We know what's new.
Yeah.
So what's main?
Good question.
What's the main course?
What is the main feature? Let's find out. So, we're talking about video game difficulty, which I think rolls off nicely from Returnal's win at the BAFTAs, which is obviously quite a challenging game. It's one of those ones where you're in a time loop, you're going through, fighting off alien hordes, or are you the alien in Atropos, the extraterrestrial planet?
Oh my god.
And then they're very difficult. They kill you, you're sent back, you wake up at your crash site without your items again and have to kind of learn and adapt as everything changes around you. So, with Returnal on the brain, and I kind of think these trial and error games, what is your take on video game difficulty as a challenge? Do you like being challenged by games, or Is it just depending on what sort of mood you're in? You know, how do you feel when I say this game's really, really hard? You're like, I'm going to have to prove myself on that.
I've definitely, I think it depends on the game. I definitely don't think there's any more merit in finishing a game on a harder mode, personally. And therefore, I don't think there's any more merit in finishing one game than another. I think it can show certain things about your personality. Like, you know, some people who've got the platinum on like Skyrim, like Rob, the number of hours that must have taken. Like, I'm not sure it's necessarily a difficult platinum. I don't know, but like the commitment I can respect. But I don't think it's any more valuable than me getting the platinum for Donut County, which I did, by the way. And I really enjoyed it. It's a great game. It's really, really good. Game. Ultimately, games are about having fun, and I think if you're having fun, that's the end of it. It doesn't matter how you did that, whether it was, you know, in an easier way or a harder way, according to these modes. And I do think it's like on a game by game basis. So I've played games on hard mode right from the start because I thought I'd find an easier mode not challenging enough, and also because I played Modern Warfare 2 on hard right from the start because I wanted to get the platinum. I didn't want to have to play it twice. And I knew I'd just get through it. It was a bit of a slog, but I got through it. And I played Marvel's Spider-Man on easy because I really wanted to get through the story, and I thought if I was playing it on a harder difficulty, I'd take too long over the combat and stuff, and I was like worried about spoilers and things, so I thought I'd just enjoy it. And I actually just had a very different experience of that game, I think, because the combat was just really fun. And I didn't and I just really did enjoy the story a lot more, I think, because it became the focus of my playthrough rather than worrying about each encounter and trying to get 3 stars or whatever. But personally, I just think if you're having fun, it doesn't matter whether it's on easy or hard or whether there isn't a difficulty mode at all. I just think that everyone should be allowed to play. The best thing is for as many people as possible being able to play in the way they like, whatever that is. And it's easier. Games. We love games. It's easier said than done. And I accept that some games are naturally more challenging, I suppose, and then it gets into a bit more of a tricky area. But as long as the difficulty isn't prohibitive to anybody actually playing, I think that's okay. They can be a genre unto themselves, I suppose. I
feel like I totally agree with you. Like, I'm very much in the camp of if you're having fun, it doesn't matter how hard something is. I'm a big, like, I love things on easy. Normal is kind of spicy for me. And I'm also completely drawn to Hollow Knight before its devastating difficulty for having to learn all the parries and jumps and platforming and dying and kind of having that Soulsborne mechanic of having to go back and find your soul before you lose all your geo. So it's a really interesting, like, this split in me that's like, yes, easy game, fun, joy. I just want to play narrative, walking sim, soak up the story, have a nice time. And then as soon as something like Hollow Knight or your Elden Rings, your Bloodborns come up, I'm like, I must prove myself. I'm a real gamer. I'm going to shoot everything. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think you're a real gamer if you play the really hard games and master them. But there is some sort of satisfying sense of self-achievement, like self-appraisal. I'm like, yes, I can wield the visceral gun very well. Thank you very much. In Bloodborne.
It's the challenging yourself, I think, isn't it? And I like that. I like that games can do that, where you can think, ooh, this might be a bit hard for me. And it is an opportunity that you don't have necessarily in other areas of life, where you can set yourself a challenge and you can challenge yourself and you can overcome it.
You can do that in life
you can do
as well.
It. Yeah, but I don't know, not so easily, I
You're
guess.
You're like, don't set goals.
Don't, guys, because you just fail them.
I feel like, to move on from that, I feel like it's that sense of competition that comes with games that I love, and I like. I know we'll make jokes about not being competitive, but I really am, and I love being able to compete with myself and with other people, and like have it in a fun environment where it's like, ooh, I wonder how many jumps I can do up this wall. I wonder how many times I can hit this beast, like how few I can do it in. Those were very bad examples. How many times can I hit this beast? How many trophies can I get? Can I get this platinum? Am I going to do the super secret, like, hidden boss that takes 500 tears of my actual face rubbed upon the screen to summon? Like, putting that effort in and getting the reward back of the little bit of, yes, I've done it. I've done something very cool. I've saved the world. I think is super duper satisfying, but I don't want it all the time. I want to be able to take a step back and go, yes, now Ash becomes a slug again.
Yeah.
And I speak in third person.
I think with difficulty, it completely depends on the game and your personal, what you want from the game. So, for example, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I loved it to pieces, played it on normal, and I wanted more of it. So I was like, yes, I'm going to play it on hard mode as well. And I went through that. However, I've got a friend who played it on easy, and they had just as wonderful experience as I did when I played it on normal and hard. And then they played it again a couple of months later, and they just played it on easy again, but on New Game Plus. But that was just because they wanted to experience the story and everything again. And the only reason I would never say to someone, oh, why are you playing it on easy twice? Like, as long as you're enjoying the game, that's all that matters. As long as you yourself are getting what you want from the game and you're having a wonderful time, then, you know, you can't ask. Everyone should be able to love and play video games. That's all you can ask for. But the only reason with Final Fantasy VII Remake I suggested it to my friend was because they were saying, with their New Game Plus build of a character, you know, leveling up, they were like, oh, the combat is getting a bit easy. Like, you know, now when I go to them fight, it's just like, duh, and then I run off, and then they run off. So that's the only reason why I suggested, why didn't you try going on normal if you want a bit more of a kick then out of the fights? So they gave it a shot, and then they're like, nah, I just want to feel super powerful again. I was like, fair enough. As long as you're enjoying it, what more could you ask for? And then, but then for me, for example, I like to torment myself and give myself a bit of a challenge, be it, you know, I played Uncharted, the trilogy, back on PS3, PS4, I played through them again. I think I played them on hard difficulty, but that was purely because I'd already played them on normal on PS3. So I thought, you know what, I kind of want to give myself a bit of, like, you know, the same experience I had, but personally for me, I wanted to give myself a bit more oomph for me. And then when I did that and unlocked Crushing, that's when I just, like, I didn't have to do Crushing, but I thought, you know what, I want to give myself that, I want to redo the game, but see what it can kick at me. Like, I want to punish myself.
Yeah.
But I would never, like, tell anyone, you know, for example, with Crushing, I'd only say do Crushing if you really want to give it a shot. I'd never be like, it's the definitive experience if you play it on Crushing, because it's not. Like, you know, you just play the game for however you want to play it, easy, normal, hard, Crushing once you've unlocked it, anything like that, as long as you're having a wonderful time. Or like even with Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, I did the relics, and for the trophies, I didn't need to get all the platinum relics. I think you just needed to get at least all gold. And I don't have all the platinum relics because I don't want to rip my hair out at some of those. Gold was enough for some of them. But that was like, you know, that was my point of where I was like, no, I gave myself that bit of a challenge. The game challenged me. I'm satisfied with my experience and what's happened now. So yes, let's carry on with my day. And just one more thing. And like, as well, this is why sometimes for me, I play multiple games at once. So for example, if I'm playing...
Not literally at once.
Not literally at once, no. But like, I've got multiple games on the go. So... for example, if I did Returnal, that would be my, you know, knuckle down. I'm up for a challenge. Let's do this. But then at the exact same time, I'll also be playing a narrative experience. For example, I really want to play What Remains of Edith Finch. So that is something on the complete opposite scale, but I'm getting enjoyment in the way that I would like to get enjoyment from both the games personally. So, you know, fulfilling the needs of that what I want in that with my gaming life, and also getting that challenge that I'm after as well. So I think it's completely personal on what you want to do. Like I said, I've said it again. Enjoy the games how you want to enjoy them. At the end of the day, everyone should be having a great time playing games and a lovely time.
Rosie, I've opened my mouth about...
I know this. I'm really sorry.
Let me speak.
Only because I want to say, when you were doing that lovely talk on, it's whatever enjoyment you get from it and satisfaction, I'm going to be like, I'm going to remind you of this when I get my next 99p platinum. There's easy peasy, no effort put into it. I would be like, Rosie, it's all about your experience, isn't it? The difficulty doesn't matter.
That's because your experience is to get at me.
Yeah. Enjoyable.
But we look back and we laugh.
Oh, we laugh. We laugh so much.
We laugh.
I think there's an interesting point that the internet makes a lot, which I really don't agree with, and I don't think either of you will agree with either, that easy mode is cheating.
No, that's crazy talk.
I just think it's this gatekeeping attitude towards what gaming is and what gaming difficulty is, and kind of separating, difficulty is scaled for what experience you want. You've said that perfectly, Rosie. It's it's scaled for how you want to play a game. It's not the proving grounds of who is the ultimate gamer. Leaderboards and competition and getting that satisfaction for yourself is great, but you don't need to measure other people by it.
No, absolutely right. I totally agree.
No,
and that's ultimately the point. When people say it's cheating, what are they cheating?
Yeah.
It's only cheating if the competition is, who can finish the game on hard mode. And if you finished it on easy mode, then you wouldn't have done that. But that doesn't make any difference. I think it's about what you get out of it. Just enjoy games. And it's a mode in the game. How can it be cheating? It's been made by the creators of the game as a way for people to enjoy games. It's just crazy talk to suggest that it's cheating.
Would you say you've picked a game based on its difficulty before, or been put off by a reputation of difficulty?
I've definitely been put off by a reputation of difficulty.
Yeah.
That's why I never played Dark Souls, any of the Dark Souls games, and I only kind of happened to play Bloodborne because I borrowed Nath's copy. Well, I actually picked up Nath's copy for him from PlayStation HQ in London, and I took it home and I had it for a night, and I thought, well, I'll give it a go, and I was instantly hooked. But I was sort of really scared of it. I kind of installed it, and I was like, why am I doing this? All I hear is how hard these games are, and you've got to be some amazingly kind of stubborn and sort of I don't know, committed person, which just is not me. And I still haven't played any of the Dark Souls games, but I've played Demon Souls and I've played Bloodborne, and I absolutely love them. And I think, yes, they are challenging, but I think actually it's really unfair that they come with this sort of stigma almost of being really hard games. They're really hard games and only the best gamers can play them. I think it's absolutely nonsense. And I am definitely not the best gamers. It's just about I don't know. It wasn't about that for me at all. The challenge, I didn't enjoy the challenge. I enjoyed the mystery and that is it. I enjoyed the mystery. Everything about that game was mysterious to me. The mechanics were mysterious, the setting, the characters, the story. I was just fascinated by all of it. And the fact that I kept dying, it didn't put me off because I was so fascinated by the rest. I was definitely not interested in kind of finishing it so I could brag about it.
Yeah?
Honestly.
Oh, okay. I just heard I got the Bloodborne Platinum a lot before me and Rob did that final run.
Well, I did though.
Interesting. I do think it's important to mention that with these games and with video game difficulty as a topic in general, we are talking as three people without specific accessibility needs, and accessibility is a whole different beast to video game difficulty in itself. And at the end of the day, video games are for everyone. They're for everyone to play and everyone to enjoy in their own way, in whatever way is most comfortable for them as well. And taking all the resources you can, whether in-game or outside of game, to make that possible and to make it enjoyable and to find challenge or not challenge in those acts is super important. Video games are for you and for your entertainment. They're an entertainment medium. So at the end of the day, it's about what you want to do to engage with them and how you can engage with them. Just ignore anyone being like, it's got to be difficult to be good. But segue onto comments of the week, which we do the song for. So hang on for that. So Rob isn't here, and we're going to have to manage to do the comments of the week song as a trio.
Hello.
Oh, Rob, you're back.
Is he back?
Rob, did you have a good holiday?
No.
He's going to hate this.
Stupid holiday.
Listen back and be like, what on earth? And he's not going to say anything. He's going to do that thing where he sits and adjusts his head.
Just staring.
Yeah. and unnerve me from afar, and you will be fine. Both of you will be fine. He'll just stare me down, and I'll go, "Oh, I'm sorry, Rob."
Is that what he does? He just stares at you specifically.
He just knows that I'm gonna
he knows your weakness
fully. Oh God. Anyway, sing the song. Go on.
Okay.
So wait, how are we going to do this?
It's time.
Oh, we're doing it like that. Okay. Do it again.
It's time.
It's time
for comments of the week. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks,
Rob.
Good
you
to
can go
have
on
you.
holiday again now.
Yeah. Bye. Oh, he's just gone.
Bye.
Right, okay. Let's actually have the comments of the week, aka hashtag PodSquad. Oh, that was very nicely aligned.
That was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was better than the comments of the week song.
PodSquad.
So hashtag...
Oh my God.
He's back. Hashtag Pod Squad is our hashtag that you can use to get in touch with us with your lovely messages, your comments, any fun things you want to put into the PlayStation Access sphere of looking, listening and talking.
Oh yeah.
Do it, send it, put it on social media, put it in a YouTube comment, do whatever you want.
Write it on a beach.
Yeah.
Put it in a bottle and throw it into... Don't do that, actually. We're very pro-environmental friendly here.
Yeah.
Don't throw anything into the sea.
Think it in your mind.
Don't think it in your mind, Rosa. We can't mind read.
I can.
Can you?
I told you I can.
Yeah, you did, but also...
Runs in the family?
You
gotta
told me
tell
your
the
dad
story
could...
now.
Oh, actually, your
You
mum
gotta-
can mind read.
No, my mum and my dad and me can mind read. It's the Millman mind reading. It runs in telepathy. Runs in the
Telepathy.
Can you quickly tell the story? Do we have time for the very quick story?
So the story is, well, my dad can do magic. This is just the story of me and my dad, and then I'll tell the story of my mom and dad. So the story, we can do magic, just my dad can lay out some cards on a table, right? You imagine you're in a room of party goers.
Okay.
And there's me and my dad there because we are party goers.
Right.
And he's laid out cards on the table in an arrangement.
Just a normal deck of cards.
Yeah, in an arrangement. And
in a what, sorry?
in an arrangement. And I go out the room, right? I leave. And he can get someone in the room to pick any item in the room and then communicate it through the cards.
What do you mean? How does the cards communicate it?
Because he knows and I know, and we read it through the brain, through the cards.
So wait a minute. So let's say I pick a clock in the room.
Yeah.
What would I then do with this clock? Would I point at it to your dad?
Yeah, but don't say it out loud because I won't hear it from
So
the
I'm
room.
just pointing to the clock.
Yeah.
Your dad, he sees me pointing to the clock.
Yeah.
He thinks that's the clock.
Yeah.
Then what happens? Does he do something with the cards?
No, he just points to the card. He says, Ash, come back in. And I come back in and he points to the cards and I know what you've selected.
Clock.
Yeah, I'll be
How
like,
can you
clock.
tell that from the cards?
You know what? You'll have to come to my house and we'll do some magic.
One of your famous parties.
The Millman Magic Show.
But the other bit of magic that proves it runs in the family was my mom and dad sat down to see if they had the power of telepathy. Is that
No.
Telepathy.
Have I said it wrong, Ian? Telepathy.
Yeah. Telepathy. Do they have the power of vocabulary?
And they do. And they sat down, right? And they were like, right, we're going to see if we can read each other's minds. We're going to take it dead serious. Because they're not very serious, but when they are, it's on not very serious things.
Yeah.
So they were like, we're going to see if we can read each other's minds. This is it, guys. This is what's happening. Guys, as if there was an audience. There wasn't.
It's just you.
Yeah. I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there?
I wasn't even born.
Wow.
I was but a twinkle in my mother's eye. And they sat down on two opposite chairs.
Okay.
And they looked into each other's eyes.
Right.
Deeply.
Okay.
And they let a couple of minutes pass.
Right.
And my dad was thinking of an item, a thing.
Yeah.
He was thinking about it. My mom was trying to read it. She was looking at him, trying to read into his brain. And the time goes up and she's like, oh, I don't think we can do it. I don't think we're telepathic.
Right.
All I was getting was bananas, just bananas over and over again. And my dad goes, I was thinking of monkeys.
Oh, God. Well, there you go. So not telepathic. It's good.
But they are. Banana and monkeys.
This is not monkey.
That is.
Didn't you
It's
say
not.
as well, when you told us the story in the office, didn't you say that your dad's favourite animal is a monkey?
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
I think it's very relevant, Rosie. I think it's extremely relevant.
Just monkey's always on the mind.
had the banana vision, which is essence of monkey. That is essence of monkey.
It is essence of monkey. I can't argue with that. I won't argue with it.
Well, good.
I'll support it.
Thank you. And you know who else is supporting? The lovely community.
Thank you, community.
Coming with hashtag PodSquad. And Natalie Farr has come from Twitter to ask, which character did Rosie choose to be her boyfriend in the Mass Effect series? I bet Garrus Vakarian.
Oh, good question. I don't know the answer to this. I would also go for Garrus. Would I? Yes.
I think Garrus.
Yeah.
I know Garrus. Surely it's Garrus.
Okay, so
well, there's a story here.
It's an interest. What is in like Mass Effect in the series, or because I've just finished? Well, no, I finished Mass Effect 2. So in the series,
yeah. Well, I know you've had your wicked way with Kaidan.
Have you cheated on Garrus?
No. Right. So in the first game, you can't. You can only romance Kaidan or Ashley.
Okay.
I believe. Is that correct, Ash?
Yes.
No,
you can have Liara as well.
Oh, and Liara. Sorry,
it depends on your like sexuality and gender, because like the different ones are tied to different people.
And I didn't want any of them. I was like, I was just like, no. There were some characters who I was talking to, like, you know, Garrus, for example.
Yeah.
Rex. And I love Rex. I love Rex so much.
Rex would be terrifying.
I love Rex. I love Rex to pieces, but. I was like, no, I don't want to have a romantic option in Mass Effect 1. I wasn't vibing with the characters, but Kaidan wasn't leaving me alone. Kaidan was like, you know, I was just trying to be nice to Kaidan. I was trying to be nice to Kaidan and like, you know, doing a mixture of neutral, but also like, you know, just being a bit nice. And then I had the scene where it was like, Shepard's on the floor and they're talking about stuff, and then he picks her up, I think, or something, and then they have a close moment where they could have maybe kissed. I was like, oh, for goodness sake, Kaidan, leave me alone. But my Shepard was like and I was like, no, Shepard, no, you don't want this. And then the scene came up, and I was playing it live, and I asked the audience, I was like, what shall I do? And then everyone was like, sleep with Kaidan.
Don't ask. What, you can't ask an audience what you're like. Shepard
I didn't want to be in the situation, but I was also thinking, you know what? I'm here now. Do I just do it?
Well, okay. Well, Rosie, that is.
I double checked with my friend, and I said like. I was like, the character who I want to get to know more, I was like, can I actually, you know, and then they said, yes, it's fine. Whatever you do in Mass Effect 1, you know, doesn't really affect Mass Effect 2. I was like,
right.
Okay.
So full steam ahead on this one night stand. Let's go.
No, I didn't do it. I did it in like a disbelief thing, but I did it because the audience wanted
I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
I had to do it 3 times to make sure.
To check. I reloaded the save.
But to answer the question, the character who's actually the one who I romance is Garrus.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Thane.
No, not. I was thinking Thane, but you're
laid
dating
claim
Thane.
to Thane.
So if it wasn't Garrus, it would have been Thane. But I like the whole time I was playing, because I edited the wonderful video you made about
me kissing Thane on the computer screne.
So I've seen your love for Thane in the video as I was editing it, and I was like, no, Thane is. I can't.
Thane's off limits.
Yeah, Thane's off limits.
I've shared him, Rosie. When he calls you Siha.
Oh, God.
And I also I love Garrus, because every time I went to talk to him, he was just like, can I wait a while? I'm working on some calibrations. And just every single time I was always like, calibrations. So I kind of fell in love with him for his determination for the calibrations.
The man's always calibrating.
He's always calibrating.
I don't know how many calibrations a spaceship needs, but surely not as many as Garrus.
What is he calibrating? Weird.
He's just on this one little desk as well, and he's always calibrating. At least in Mass Effect 2,
I'm going to try saying that.
3.
I think.
What?
If you guys are like, oh, Dave, can you help me film it? I'm sorry, I've got some calibrations.
And that's what we know.
That's not going to work. That's not going to work. I'll just start going insane. Me and Rosie, we're like,
The thing is, though, we'll keep on talking to you, and you just have to say it over and over again.
I'll just keep saying my one line of dialogue over and over again.
Yeah, over and over again.
We'll see.
But answer the Garrus is my boyfriend in Mass Effect.
Oh, I think that's a fair answer. I've got another question for you, Rosie, as well, actually, that people need to know.
They do.
Well, it's actually it involves you, which is from David/Darth Terrorize. Rosie is on the whole the best gamer in Access, often taking the team to town. I love this descriptive.
She's never taken us to town.
Oh.
Never taken me anywhere.
Yeah, why haven't you taken us to town, Rosie?
Yeah.
Do you want to go out to town?
Yes.
What game do you confidently feel you could beat Rosie at repeatedly, even if Rosie had a chance to practice at your chosen game? And would you prove it in a stream? Now,
oh God,
don't
good
answer
question.
it. Don't answer it, because we have a winner takes on series, right?
Yeah, that's right.
On our YouTube channel, we have a winner takes on series that we've just started with Stickbold, where all 4 of us have been playing it. And there was a winner, doesn't matter. And then the winner of that keeps playing on, and people have head-to-heads every time. So, you know, the winner might have to verse Rosie at some point. Versus? They might have to versus Rosie.
You mean me?
No.
Is that me? Sorry, you mentioned winner. And oh, it actually is me this time. That's right.
You did. You won Stickbold.
I did. I won
guess.
Stickbold. I am the winner who will stay on.
Yeah. So you could, if you want to give Rosie a hint at what to practice, you could say what you think you'd beat her at repeatedly.
Well, unfortunately, as I understand it, I don't get to choose what I'm going to play Rosie against. But I guess I could say, and I'm not really sure. I'm not particularly confident in my ability in any particular game. You know, like, for example, Nath and Rosie both, like, think they're really good at Tekken. And they are really good at Tekken. I don't think I'm really good at anything, really. Like, I'm okay at lots of things. I would not want to give Rosie a chance to practice at anything. But Rosie, I know, thinks that I would beat her at a football game like FIFA or PES. So I'll say FIFA. But I think if you practiced it, I think you'd beat me fine. And also, if you did your football commentary as we were playing, I'd either like laugh myself into oblivion or rage into oblivion. So I think you've got my number.
Rosie, what do you think, or me, I could beat you at a game one day. Would you think one of us, if you had to go head to head with one of us, probably Dave. I don't know, he seems to think he's a winner or something.
It's fact. It's a scientific fact.
Your
we
eyes
did the
look
test.
so shifty then. You looked away like, it's true.
It's true. I just didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable with how true it was. I didn't want you to be, I know in the face of such shining success, it can be intimidating for you guys, and I just wanted to be polite. Don't bear your king.
But yeah, Rosie, what would you be worried about if the game came up that you had to versus someone at?
Well, I feel like I'm kind of, digging myself in a ditch here. If the winner plays on does come up, everyone's now going to say what I'm about to suggest. But you are absolutely right with the football FIFA sort of idea, Dave. When I played football games as a child, my priority was getting as many red and yellow cards as possible.
Well, that could be the game that we play.
That could be the game that we play. So if we do that, then I'm tackling everyone and I'm not understanding the rules and I'm having a whale of a time. But apart from that, I would probably say, I know, Dave, you'd especially kick my butt in this, but like a first-person shooter online game where everyone's been playing it for years and I've not.
That's very specific.
But
okay.
like Apex Legends, for example.
Okay.
Because I know that when that game first came out, lots of members of the office were playing it a lot, and
you just mean me and Nath.
Okay, well, it was you and Nath, and
Rob played it a little bit.
Yeah, he played it a little. He played it more than I did, and when I was thinking, I'm going to dabble into it, I did it in like a online match with just a bunch of strangers around the world, or however the online stuff goes, and I was when you're shooting at someone and you swear you've shot them more times than they've shot you.
Yeah.
But you die, and then they carry on running off, and I'm like, I should have got that kill. Or there's another moment where I swear I killed someone, but apparently it was an assistant kill, and someone else
assistant kill. Kill someone's assistant.
Or an assistant or whatever. Or I'm really trying to play it, and I'm really trying to get some points, and everyone online just knows the game, and they just come up behind me, they just kill me, or they snipe me from afar. Anything like that. If I booted up, Destiny, I'd be in the exact same boat. So I'd probably say one of those.
Okay, great. So let's hope for one of those. No, in all honesty, Rosie, I wouldn't want to play you at a game that I wouldn't want to beat you at something that you were bad at.
Rocket League.
Well, who knows? There may be a game of Rocket League.
Yeah.
Soon.
I could beat either of you at anything.
Yeah.
I think that, honestly, think that you possibly could. Not because
you're good at games.
only because you are incredibly stubborn.
Yeah.
And incredibly driven in a way that I'm kind of not so much. Like I try, but then I let other things get in the way. Whereas I think you're quite single-minded about like, I am going to beat everyone at this.
This is the video
you will
game.
not stop. Even when we filmed something recently, you were like, let's do it again until you weren't last. And then when that day came, it was like, oh, we're done now.
I seriously think any game, like if you had to play Rosie at CTR, if we planned it in advance long enough, I think you would just put the hours in. You would put the hours in.
If it's long form, I can do long form. I come back months later and I'm like,
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You sleep on these things for months and then are just like, oh, by the way,
I'm the winner.
Yeah.
I'm the winner. I'm a winner, baby. Just to myself.
It was when we were doing the Astro, the run, the
Astro's
speed runs.
Playroom.
Yeah, Astro's Playroom, the speed runs, and it was around the Christmas break. And you just get a message at quite past bedtime
2 a.m.
hours, and then you just see a picture of Ash like, I did it, like camera super close to her face.
Ash's smug face next to the TV
in the dark,
not even looking at the camera.
Illuminated.
It's a particular genre of pain.
It was great. I loved sending that picture. I was sweaty as well, like I was just glowing. I'd been sat there for hours. My eyes were blurring. That's why I couldn't look at the camera, because I was like, I will win.
We had quite a healthy, competitive kind of run at Astro's Playroom until Ash took it too far and just destroyed us all. I felt so out of reach.
It's when it got to the point of bedtime hours, just waking up the next day,
afraid to wake up, afraid to look at your phone.
Oh, there she is.
She hasn't.
I went to sleep thinking I was winning.
Yeah, I'll do this tomorrow.
Sweet dreams, Rosie. One last Pod Squad comment, just to whiz on through. RDC is a spring chicken. Alex has picked this one out. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Alex.
Is who has the best access night out stories? And then has followed up with, I heard Ash ripped her trousers at the Christmas party. Yes, it's true.
That's a fact.
It's true. It's true. I dropped my butt too low. I literally did a little dance and I dropped down and went I took the funniest picture later. I obviously cannot be shared. But it was so funny because, oh God, it's just, they didn't just tear a little, like they fully went.
They were like, Merry Christmas.
It was fully like,
it's time to rest.
Yeah.
Rest in pieces.
It was they were high-waisted trouser and they were gone from belt loop to belt loop, like round the undercarriage.
Oh Lord! And with that image,
I don't think we can top
probably
that.
Move on there.
I don't think we can top it.
I don't think we've done many mad nights out because
well, to be fair, obviously we've had the COVID situation has kept us all apart for quite a long time.
Well, I do that in my own time now.
What, keep apart from everybody?
No, split my trousers.
Oh, okay, right. No, so we haven't had a sort of crazy night.
I also got pooped on by a seagull when I went out with you. On that
same night?
No, when I went out with you and Nate.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was when I came down for. I keep talking about the interview on this podcast. Came down for the interview, and the biggest, wettest, most slimiest poop landed upon me from a seagull on it was a really nice jacket.
That's when we knew that we should not employ this woman.
And here I am.
And here she is.
But she was persistent. She messaged at 3 a.m.
Pictures in front of the telly.
You will
she wouldn't give up. She just wanted to stop.
Right, everyone, that is the end of the comments of the week. Thank you so much for sending in your comments. If you want to use the hashtag PodSquad on social media, on YouTube, then we'll be sure to have a look out and maybe you'll be featured on an upcoming podcast. For now, though, we have the Before We Go section because it's Before We Go. So then, guys, this is the little section dedicated to anything that is not gaming, just fun things you want to bring up. But I think we do actually have a gaming thing. It's not a PlayStation game.
No, it's not.
So it's technically different.
I mean, this is actually incredibly well linked to what we were talking about earlier, Ash, about your stubbornness to just win.
I am great.
And basically, a little under a year ago, Ash and I had a competitive rivalry on... Oh, what's it called?
Doodle Champion Island Games.
Doodle Champion Island Games.
Don't act like you don't know the name.
On Google. Which was like released by Google to celebrate the Olympics last year. And it's like it's an amazing thing for just like a free in your browser game. It's got like really great anime, and the games are really, really good fun. It's one game in particular, which I checked before we came here. It's called Artistic Swimming.
I could have told you that.
It's basically cats dancing, because it's called the Cat Dance Game in our office.
Yeah.
And so about a year ago, I set a really great score. Ash and I had a bit of a back and forth. It was just between us. I set a really great score, and then we kind of drifted away from it for some reason.
It was just really hard. I think we just agreed that you'd hit the score. Like we couldn't best it.
Yeah.
And then it was time when we were working from home as well. We started working from home again. So we were out of the office. So the competitive streak just was it didn't die, but it was laid to rest.
Yeah. And that's the end of the story. So that was just a time when I won a game. And what about you, Rosie? Anything else? No, that's not what happened.
I think there's a sequel to this story.
Yeah, the sequel is that Ash, for some reason, last week was just like, I'm going to play the cat dancing game. And I remember that you said to me, you had a few goes, and then you said to me, I'm actually never going to be able to beat your score. I think you've done too good of a score.
I don't think I said that.
You did say that, and I went and recorded some VO, and when I came out, you were like, I've beaten it! And then she committed the cardinal sin, which is sharing it with everybody else.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be really funny for everyone else to beat Dave as well.
Yeah. Well, it isn't.
No, to be fair, I thought, what I actually thought is the honest truth is I've done a score that no one will ever beat. I can show the rest of the office now.
Yeah. Actually, why didn't I think like that? I'd done a score that I thought no one... I was happy. I was happy with, like, I've beaten Ash, that'll do. But you weren't happy. Yeah. So then I became, like, the fourth best player. It's like everybody just started topping my score.
Yeah.
And it's been a madness in the office for about a week.
Yeah. It's been a plague on both our houses. But it's basically a rhythm game. So like I showed it Rosie, and she was obviously instantly amazing because she's the parappa lady. And we've got Chloe in our office who's also been playing it. Nath has been sending in his scores from home. You've been playing it. I've been playing it.
Alex has refused, I think. Didn't he have one go?
He did have a go.
Just like that.
He got like an 11,000, which is pathetic.
It is bad. Alex. Come on.
So like
you're better than that.
60,000 odd is the score that you want, right? And the top score for every note perfect is 63,100, and I had 62,850, as did Chloe, as did Nath, as did Dave, all in one go. So we all kind of hit that score and we're like, right, it's whoever can get perfect score first. And guess who did? This very day, just before the podcast, Ash Millman, baby.
You know, like, when it happened, I felt like a sense of relief, and I was like, I'm actually quite pleased for Ash.
I think everyone did. I mean, I did.
But now, Rosie, I don't. Now I'm like, screw her after that announcement. Bow to your king.
No.
Please.
Dance
it was different
to the
for me. It was different for me because I was not getting involved with this competition. I was playing it, giving it a go and see how I did. But every time...
What's these lies, Ash, that we're hearing?
Like, this morning, I was happily editing a video, and then Chloe can vouch for this, so I was editing away. Ash comes in and was like, Rosie, play the cat dancing game.
No, I saw Chloe playing the keyboard like a guitar, and I was like, I need to go.
Oh my God. The one day I'm late, and this is what happens.
On today's lunchtime, you were like, right, Rosie, go on, start playing the cat dancing game. So all I've had is, Rosie, play the cat dancing game.
Yeah, you have been commanded to do it. And you did. And you were really good at it, but not good enough.
Yeah. It's very annoying because it's impossible to... It's a game that only has one... it has a high score, and Ash has achieved the high score. There's no way to beat her. She will forever be the
cat dancing, synchronized
who won.
swimming.
She won.
I'll tell you what reminded me of it. I've been looking at Scrungy Cats a lot. recently. I'm on Scrungy Cat Reddit all the time. And I was thinking about The Legend of Kay on PS2. I've just had really bad cats on the brain, and I remembered Dancing Cat Game, and I was like, oh, I need to go back.
Yeah.
I need to visit that land. But anyway, I'm glad that was before we go, because I was going to talk about some different stuff. Rosie had some manga. Like, there was all sorts of fun things.
There was going to be lots of interesting things, yeah.
But I got that top score and was like, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the before we go, because now we're going. So what you have to look forward to coming up on Access, which is our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/PlayStation Access. URL. If you're listening to this on YouTube, you're already there.
Oh my God, you did it.
Wow. And if you're on another listening app, then please let me tell you what is coming up. Mondays and Thursdays are stream days where we do live streaming. Sometimes it's quite chill and we're chatty like this. Sometimes we're all screaming at each other in stick bold, so it's a real mixed bag.
In a nice way.
Yeah, we have a store update.
Friendly way.
Yeah, friendly enough.
Yeah.
There's a store update every Tuesday where we tell you what's new in the PlayStation Store. On Wednesdays, we have Tuesday checklists, naturally, as well as any other sort of previews for games. And on Friday, we have the Friday feature, which is a list feature on games and other fun stuff in the gaming realm. You know how it be.
I know how it be.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. We all know it quite well.
Yeah.
I can't believe we've just been we've been reduced to a sentence there, Ash.
That was a very long sentence.
That's all we do. Wow.
Well, we have a podcast.
Every
2 weeks on a Saturday. So you will look forward to hearing from us again for episode 3 in 2 weeks' time. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining us. We love doing this. We love chatting nonsense in this wonderful, underground studio. It's great. I love it here.
The cave.
The cave.
The cave.
But to finish up, I have been Ash. This has been Rosie.
Goodbye, everyone. Sorry, I cut you off.
I was gonna say who's gonna say goodbye, and you did. So this is Rosie who's gonna say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes.
My friends.
And this has been Dave, who's also gonna say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And Rob in spirit.
Goodbye.
Oh, Rob, thank you for coming back just to say goodbye.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, Rob. Thank you for being so chatty.
Goodbye. I don't think I could say goodbye as well. Goodbye.
Your panicked face, the shifting eyes.
No problem.
And that is the end of the podcast. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
PlayStation